Happy Thanksgiving. 49ers play tonight. First time since 2014 that they've played on Thanksgiving. And back then they played Seattle and it didn't go well. It was at Levi Stadium. Seattle won. And then that was when the infamous turkey on the 50-yard line episode happened. That's when Richard Sherman of the Seahawks at the time, Russell Wilson of the Seahawks at the time, ate turkey on the 49ers midfield logo. And that did not make 49ers fans very happy. So 49ers maybe will have their revenge for turkey at the 50 today. They can eat turkey on Seattle's 50-yard line, but you have to win before you do that. So this is our 49ers Seahawks prediction. My article is based on the 49ers offensive line issues entering this game, and I'll update you throughout today once we know a little bit more about who's going to play and who's not. Officially, Aaron Banks and Spencer Burford, the 49ers two guards, are questionable for this football game. So my 49ers Thanksgiving challenge is, can the offensive line and its depth hold up against the Seattle Seahawks? There are multiple possible permutations of how this is going to go. The most likely seems to be that Aaron Banks will play at left guard, so he'll be making his return, and Spencer Burford won't play at right guard. So that means that John Feliciano is going to have to move from left guard to right guard. But there does seem to be a scenario, since both of those guys are questionable, in which the 49ers have to replace both of their starting guards. And it just so happens that Seattle's interior defensive line is better than the unit that the 49ers faced last year. They've picked up Leonard Williams. That was a trade deadline piece. 49ers already faced him in week 3 against the New York Giants. They picked up Draymond Jones, formerly of the Denver Broncos. They've reacquired Jaron Reed, who's a big 310-pounder who has given the 49ers a lot of trouble before. He's the type of bigger body, fire hydrant type that does give Jake Brendel and that interior line some issues. So, I mean, and then also Mario Edwards Jr. You look up and down this Seattle defensive line, and you say, hey, these guys are a little bit better than last year, especially on the inside. Now, they've lost Uchenna Nwosu on the outside. Frank Clark is a shell of his former self. That was a bit of a desperation move from the Seattle Seahawks. Kind of funny that they got Frank Clark and the 49ers got Chase Young. You know what else is funny is some of the crap that Deommodore Lenoir is talking. How about this? Check this out on Twitter. Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith is expected to play tomorrow. Deommodore Lenoir takes it, quote tweets it, and says, so? I mean, this guy is confident. We know that. And he's been playing good football. Demo has been inside, outside. He's been doing a lot for the 49ers. I think, he had a pick 6 against Seattle last year that was called back by the penalty on Nick Bosa, and it would have been a complete blowout. I don't think the 49ers respect Geno Smith and the Seahawks offense too much on tape, because they completely pulverized them in 3 matchups last year. The closest one, for all intents and purposes, was the playoff game, but then Charles Omenihu forced a fumble there in the third quarter, and the rest was history. So the 49ers, 61 pressures against Seattle over the course of 3 games last year. The secondary, I think, for the 49ers is feeling itself now because they're playing better. They're disguising their coverages in a way that's allowing the pass rush to get home, even against quick release. 49ers have, 9 sacks over the last 2 weeks, 8 or 9 sacks. That's a lot over the last 2 weeks, and a lot of it is a credit to the improved pass coverage. Deommodore Lenoir is not afraid to talk some crap on Twitter the night of the game up in the hotel in Seattle. And tonight, the 49ers will likely face Geno Smith. We do expect him to play. Jamal Adams also going to return for the Seattle Seahawks today. He's been out for a little while, one of the safeties. Will he help? He's a very overly aggressive safety, in my opinion. There's boom or bust with Jamal Adams. The one thing you do have to watch out for is that he can blitz. I don't think he's great in coverage, but he can blitz. But Brock Purdy is also maybe the best quarterback in the NFL against the blitz. I mean, Purdy is just lit up blitz after blitz after blitz. In fact, at this point, the 49ers have already faced the 5 most blitz-happy teams in the entire NFL, and Brock Purdy has lit up every single one of them. So if Jamal Adams is coming on blitzes today, I don't think the 49ers would object to that. I think they'd be very, very okay with it. So anyway, can the offensive line depth hold up against the Seahawks? That's going to be a big question in front of Purdy. That being said, Brock is still, I mean, look at this. When you talk about the offensive line not playing well, this is the 49ers O-line week to week. It's been below average every single week except for Jacksonville and Arizona. But this is the graphic that you have to see regarding Brock Purdy's play. I mean, he is a complete outlier. And the 49ers just the fact that they stumbled into this at 262 is insane. Pass block grade for the line in front of each respective quarterback is measured on the x-axis. You move further to the right, those are better offensive lines. And so you typically don't see as good of quarterback play. You don't see a quarterback as high up vertically here. Brock Purdy is way up here, despite the fact the 49ers offensive line ranks 28th in the league in pass block grade. So he is an absolute cheat code. Even if the 49ers interior line in this game does struggle a little bit, Brock Purdy, you look at this, Brock Purdy has overcome that. Brock Purdy is a lot better than Geno Smith. I think that's what this comes down to in 49ers Seahawks. On one side, you have a QB who can play the position, who could carve up an opposing defense. On the other side, you have a guy who has been terrible for all of his career, except for a little bit of a jolt here the past 2 seasons. But as soon as defenses figure him out, he doesn't have an answer. Geno Smith didn't have an answer down the stretch run of last season. Geno Smith hasn't shown us that he has an answer this year, and he might be coming in a little bit hurt. On top of that, the 49ers have a whole lot more firepower than the Seattle Seahawks offensively, and that's including DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I don't care about the Seahawks rookie receiver. When you're looking at Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, especially against the team, and Brandon Ayuk, one of the best receivers in football, obviously, but especially against the team that's been bad in coverage with its linebackers, Jordan Brooks and Bobby Wagner, and its safety, Julian Love. I don't care how good Seattle's corners are because the 49ers can just overwhelm them with weaponry. Kenneth Walker, the running back for Seattle, also is doubtful in this football game. So it's a new look Seattle defense, but I don't think it's any better equipped to slow down the 49ers. Maybe a little bit with that interior, but I don't think it's a significant difference, especially with Purdy playing like this. All right, so everybody, I'm going to let you go. Have a good Thanksgiving. I will give the prediction, and I will also tell you, check out the prediction piece, which I have up on the screen right here. Obviously, you will also want to check this out too. Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, the origin story. I was told that we've got a $1 a month deal going on right now. So I think over 100 people have subscribed to this piece already. Go ahead and be number 200 or whatever number you want to be. It's $1 a month. It's a great thing to get here on Thanksgiving. You could even buy a subscription for somebody. It's on my Twitter. I could toss it into the description of this as well. Prediction for 49ers Seahawks is 49ers 27, Seahawks 17. I don't see quite 30 points for the 49ers because I think they're going to lay off the gas here toward the end of the game, but I do think 17 even might be generous for Seattle. I don't respect the Seattle offense that much, but I do think that Thursday Night Football might be a little bit of an equalizing factor here. So we'll say 49ers 27, Seahawks 17. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. I'll update you with some of the health stuff as the day progresses. Take care.